mute myself.
Okay. I'm going to take a quick roll call. Marianne? Some? Arissa? Not yet. Jennifer?
Okay.
Awesome.
Here.
Gina?
Hi.
Katie? No. John? Hi.
Here.
Casey?
Hi.
Rachel? Nope. Okay. So we have a quorum. Awesome.
Yay.
So moving on to the next one, I believe we do have an adjustment to the agenda, right, Chanda?
We do. We've got, and here's Arisa. Let's let her in. We do have an adjustment. We're going to add in the other section, John Lyles is going to be presenting about Festival Plaza design.
Yes, very exciting. Okay, moving on to the next, approval for the December meeting minutes. Did everyone have time to review the meeting minutes? Would anyone like to make a motion to approve the December minutes?
I move we approve the December minutes.
Awesome.
Let's move.
Would anyone like to second the motion?
I'll second.
Awesome. So Jennifer motion to approve the December minutes, seconded by John. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Those opposed say no. Nobody. One quick question. Can you hear my son crying in the background? I can then tell my husband to keep him quiet. Okay, good. I'm glad. Okay. Citizen comment. It seems like we do have a citizen comment, right?
We do. We have a citizen comment. So this is someone who wrote in and then sent some visuals. So Mark graciously is going to share those visuals. I'll read it first and then share this. It says, as an introduction to your committee, my name is Dave Sweeney, and I have lived in Sherwood for more than 20 years now. Below is my citizen's comment concerning the outdoor lighted Christmas decorations downtown. And he says, Dear Cultural Arts Commission members, I realize the Christmas holidays are over for this season, but I have a suggestion to make downtown Sherwood even more festive for many more Christmas holidays to come. While I love the lights and the few lighted displays in and around our downtown area, I think there are some ways to make it even more attractive. The easiest enhancement, I believe, would be the addition of lighted snowflakes, 3 to 5 feet in diameter, to hang off all or most of the blue light poles in the downtown area. That one addition would immediately brighten up the downtown streets. See the attached photos. I've added snowflakes. He put snowflakes in quotes. He kind of added them in to give you a basic idea of what I'm suggesting. But wait, there's more. There are also a number of downtown buildings with large undecorated exteriors, i.e. the library, the art center, the roofs of several buildings, etc., that could be used as a blank canvas for lighted Christmas displays. Even the green chain link fence along the railroad street sidewalk would be a great canvas, possibly for elves. See pic. Obviously, it would take an investment in the lights and displays, but it would be a wonderful addition to the lights that are already there and help take the Sherwood Christmas lights experience to the next level. Take a look at the attached pics I've sent and see what you think. Yes, the holidays are over, but now would be the perfect time to begin thinking about next Christmas. Thank you for your kind consideration. It really would be fabulous to see Sherwood really sparkle during the holidays. Might even become a destination for other families in the area to come here and see the Sherwood Christmas lights. A belated Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you all, Dave Sweeney. And then he wrote, P.S. The light display images I added to the downtown Sherwood pics were taken from actual digital catalogs of Christmas lights and displays. They are all commercially available. So I appreciate people writing in. Mark, do you want to share those? Oh,
Well, we can see them, but they're all really small.
they're tiny.
Posts.
Okay.
I believe this is my first citizen comment ever since I joined the team.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? Well, it's a good one coming from Dave.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's pretty.
Thank
I
you.
love
Yeah.
it.
Thanks, Mark.
Did we have that before, or is this like just a rendering?
He made a rendering
Okay.
of
Okay.
looks like with Photoshop and things. So
Well,
yeah. And then
welcome to Gordon.
All
Oh,
right,
that's
nice.
cannery.
Nice.
So those flags are lit flags then? Or are they panels?
I'm not sure. It might be the picture of the actual decoration that would hang.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Um,
Yeah, I think these are just on black. They'd probably be transparent, I would think.
Okay.
I
Gotcha.
was saying about the fence. The fence is kind of a cool area because if the lights are on both sides, then you get kind of double bang for your buck there. If that works.
Yeah. That would be cute to do something along the fence.
yeah.
Kind of reminds me a little bit of the zoo lights, like if you're on the zoo train
Hmm.
and you're riding on the zoo train during zoo lights, they have these little, features, these little Christmas features along the fence.
Mhm.
Yeah, and what was it? Newburgh had that that map of different houses and neighborhoods to go to look at Christmas lights, and I guess there was another area up. Was it Sunset? I think in Sherwood there was a neighborhood that was
Pinehurst.
advertising that. Yeah.
Pirates of Pinehurst.
Yeah.
Oh, Pirates of Pinehurst, yeah.
Yeah. So it sounds
That's
like
pretty.
our theme of light may resonate with others, and I do like the idea of. I like people thinking in terms of our downtown as a blank canvas. What can we do
Mhm.
here?
Yeah, the snowflakes are quite nice.
Yeah.
Is that something that would be like a Metro grant, maybe, Shanda?
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of downtown enhancement grants
Mm.
and even some Main Street grants.
Okay, yeah.
Any other thoughts? Or it's not a discussion topic necessarily, but this is just something that a citizen took the time to write about.
So who do we
About it?
talk to?
Yeah.
What do we do to get it done?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he is right in the fact that, we need to start planning now for the year. So we could think in terms of our long-term 2022 plan to infuse the city with light. We're
Right.
starting there with Lunar New Year, and then we were planning to do a summer solstice something, and then Diwali. We still have the Be the Light installation up in our loft over there. So I think this might be something to keep in the back of our minds as something that really resonates with folks. And I know everyone wants a magical downtown. And I know last year our city manager doubled the amount of lights that are on our trees. And that's why the downtown looks as festive as it does, is there's double the lights that there were 2 years ago. So I think there's a lot of people who share that wish for a really magical time.
Do we have banners? See, I don't remember seeing any banners hanging off the poles during Christmas. Do we have those too?
Like
Holiday banners?
I don't think so. I think there are a lot of banners that have hung there.
Holiday
Maybe
banners
just
would be
a,
fun as well. But where would you store all the stuff?
That's what I was going to ask.
Where do you-
Put it all when it's done.
I mean, there's a process to putting up
Shanda's
the light
office.
pole banners.
Yeah, Shanda's office. Winnie's house.
In my back seat of my car.
Yeah. All year long.
Yeah. I know there has been talk before of, light pole banners being up to designate like a downtown arts area or, historic downtown. There are all kinds of possibilities though. But as I understand it, and Kristen, you can feel free to jump in because you probably know this more than anyone. But there is a process to putting light pole banners up. We just can't, in Sherwood, we can't do banners that string across the street.
No, there's eight poles that are banner ready, if you will, that we could add them to right there on Pine Street. And then turning the corner on Cannery, actually, I think there's another 4 more. So there are some poles, and it's just a matter of budgeting for them and planning and figuring out where the funds are going to come from. Banners are much easier to store and put up, and there is some staff time involved, but put up and take down some of the larger decorations become a little bit more complicated. And so we just have to price them out and figure out if it's something that can be done and see if there's support.
Yeah,
Do you
figure out
have
if
to own these lights, or you can just rent it from a company? I'm sure there are companies out there that you can say,
Yeah, you can rent them, and that's what we do for all the tree lights.
Okay.
It's pretty expensive
oh, really?
because they maintain them as well. If the bulb goes out, I know just for the tree lights, I want to say it's $12,000 or $15,000 for the year. So it's a pretty expensive endeavor for them to be up for a few months and have them put them up and maintain them.
Mm.
And do you all remember what was there last last Christmas?
Yeah.
We
John,
did
wasn't it your company, John, that was doing that?
it was a contracted light company that I've worked with for quite a few years.
It was really nice.
Yeah, and that was because of our community enhancement, the community psyche grant. But yeah, like Kristen said, that was a hefty investment, but it budgeting how to pay for them and scheduling it out.
Yeah, that's quite a chunk of change. I do have a question about the light poles and banners. You said, Kristen, there are 8 that are banner ready.
Yes.
What would it take to get, well, number one, is that enough to make an impact when you hang 8 banners in a certain area? Is it enough to make a sort of a visual impact to sort of brand Sherwood as whatever it is those banners are? And then B, if it isn't, even if it is, but if it isn't, what would it take to get other poles, selected poles, banner ready?
That's a good question. It would be some sort of a attachment that would be obviously applied to the existing poles that are already there, whereas these other ones, that's how we purchased them. So if you've noticed music on the green banners, that's kind of, it's right in front of the Robin Hood Theater lot, the plaza that we're going to be talking about in City Hall. And that's where we put 8 of those basically on that block. And then Saturday Market usually uses the ones down closer around Cannery Square.
Yes.
So, it's definitely not as much as driving through all of Old Town, but it's a main thoroughfare. I'd say, Gathering Street where people are driving through. I'm not sure what the cost would be or what the process would be to add something. These ones, we have grommets and that grommet holes, and we know how to attach them and what to do. They're not the typical slide-on banner ones, so it might be they might look a little bit different, but may not be too noticeable if they're not right next to each other.
Okay.
Kristen, how many poles go down that walkway there in the side of the library? So I'm looking at like a street view, and I see one in there. I don't know if there's any more down that way.
I don't know if there's another 8 there, because those go on both sides. I think there's a banner that goes on either side. We used to put some there, and especially when Saturday Market was there, and the issue was the trees were blocking the banners. So that's why we've, at least for Music on the Green and stuff, moved it out to Pine Street where it's seen a little bit better. But yeah, there might be another 8 or so there. Because I think that there's 4 poles, but they're double-sided. They go off each side. And they might go back down towards Oregon Street as well. I think I'm trying to remember, have to pay more attention.
Okay. Any more inputs?
Maybe
Next
I
steps.
sense a suggestion of maybe tabling it to have us take a look at it at a future time to come up with some kind of plan, and then figure out from the city what kind of budget we could look at or where we can obtain funds from.
Yep. That sounds like a good idea.
I like that. Great.
All right.
Do we do any more on the citizen comment and more, or that's it?
Well, I was
That
just.
was the only one. Oh, Marianne?
Well, it's okay. Well, just that maybe it's something that could be in phases, like in next year we could add a certain amount. And, in other words, like, oh, next year, we have to have all, so just kind of say, we'll say phase 1, we do this, or do the banners and maybe something along the fence. And, so I'm just saying we don't have to
Right.
Start with some snowflakes or something like that.
Yeah.
We got the snowflakes right here, man.
Yeah, I like that idea.
My house is the snowflakes. Cool.
Great. Okay. Thank you all. Moving on, we have Center of the Arts for the Arts update. Shanda, back to you.
Yay! My favorite thing to talk about. We had our first live show that we've produced happened on Saturday. We had the amazing Bubble Man back. We had a great show. We had lots of walk-ins and lots of people calling in the days leading up to it. So we had about 175 people here, which was fabulous. It felt very full of community members, but it also had enough room for people to spread out as needed. It just felt great to do a family matinee again. It's the first time since I think February 2020. So everyone was in good spirits. There was a wide variety of people here. The Bubble Man was glad to be back, and it was pretty positive. And we just didn't sell concessions and had some doors open. It was a gorgeous day and had ventilation going as much as possible, but felt really good to have that back. We have spring classes going online soon. Leah is back from maternity leave, and so she's been a whirlwind of energy getting the spring classes out, and we're also simultaneously planning summer. So we're doing a full 7-week summer camp plan. So that's fun. And yeah, we're just, we have a brand new registration system that people are learning, and we're hacking our way through. So that's been good times. It's a little bit of a switch, but overall it's going to be a very positive system. So that feels good. And then the last update for the Art Center is just rentals are going very strongly. We have had a continuous stream of people who have been calling and renting, and it feels like more than ever. So we're having to turn some people away, which is a good problem to have, frankly.
Yes, exactly.
That's
Great.
all I've got, Winnie.
Great. Thank you, Shanda. And we'll talk about the Lunar New Year next later. But I see Consular Garland. He's here. Hi.
Hi. Sorry I'm late, everybody. I was double booked this evening. Oh, excellent. Great. Glad I didn't miss anything. Yeah, sorry, I had another meeting. It just ended. So updates. Yes, we're back meeting again this year. We just actually had a budget committee meeting as well. We're starting to talk about that. We'll meet again in May for our bigger budget committee meetings, where we had just a brief kind of mid-year review here just recently. Things are going well, I would say, just in summary there. I'm assuming most people have heard and seen the news stories, but we have a new police chief. Previously Captain Hanlon is now Chief Hanlon. So there was a nationwide search that was conducted, and through that process, Ty was chosen as our police chief. So that's great news. And if anybody knows Ty, an excellent choice was made there. He's a great guy, and he has the respect of our staff there. And I think he's probably going to bring some exciting new ideas to our PD, but also, maintain the integrity and all the good things that we have about our current force. So really excited about that, and glad to have that over with. That's one of the most important roles in our city is police chief. So having some consistency there, I think, is helpful. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else exciting coming up. Drawing blanks here. I know that Backyard Chickens is coming to the agenda, I think, in February, where we're actually, Jennifer would enjoy that. Where we're actually going to be approving that, though, as I recall. I don't remember all the details, but this council just kind of got together and we just kind of said, it's all right. It's not that big a deal. I think what was different this time around than last time it came up, and last time I was not on council, but just for laughs, I did attend the meetings as just a citizen, just to watch it, because it was such an event. This time around, our staff did a great job and brought some information from surrounding cities as well, about other cities similar to us and nearby that are doing it, and just really not experiencing major issues with it. So and so the council really just kind of adopted a live and let live kind of attitude towards it, I think. And we did hear some opinions on both sides, not nearly as vociferous and bold as the last time, I think. So, hopefully that the people that are in favor of it will respect the guidelines that are set for it, and, will be good neighbors and, benefit in their own way, being able to have your own food and companionship, if that's your thing. I don't know why. I don't know why people want chickens. I'm not into it. But hey, people can have chickens. So that's coming up. So that'll hopefully make some people happy. Other than that, we're just
they're good pets. Chickens.
Some people do, get attachments to it. And, I do remember some of the convincing, at least to me, arguments that we heard previously. It was just before it came to this council was, where your food's coming from, which is a great thing. We have some people who have some dietary issues that would rather, be able to source their own food rather than purchase it. And so that's great, and then also just the value of teaching kids, a little bit about, natural foods and stuff as well. So a lot of benefits to it, I think. So the other thing that's coming up in February, we have our annual goal setting session, which I believe is going to be a 2-day event, Friday night, Saturday morning, first weekend in February. So that will be exciting. With the new city manager, I'm hoping that he brings some new ideas to the table, and we'll get an update on previous year's goal settings, how we're doing with the goals that we set in the past, so what kind of progress we've made towards those, and look to potentially set some new ones. So that's always an exciting time of year as well.
Will that be
on bringing the outside firm this year as well?
They're gonna do it. They're gonna call us and do some interviews, and I'm not sure exactly how the format is going to work this year. It's going to be interesting to see how that works. But I believe we're using SGR again this year. So, Jen, did you have a question?
Oh, I just wanted to know, is that going to be, are you going to be in person doing that, or on
I feel like we're going to be doing it live streamed still at this point.
Okay.
Yeah, I know that there was some discussion about potentially being in person. I'm not sure if we're going to do a hybrid thing or if it's going to be online. Yeah, I think we're still.
So folks can probably join and just listen in.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Cool. Fantastic.
Yeah, but that's all I've got.
Any other questions? Good.
Oh, I want to throw out one other thing I just thought about, and Shanda, you can help me out here as well, is the events that the Center for the Arts are having with the Sherwood Guitar Ensemble. It's coming up in February and in March, and I signed up for the February one, and the registration ends on January 31st, and from what I can tell, I'm the only person so far. So if anybody knows anybody who plays guitar and wants to join this, please tell them to sign up, because I want to do this, and I don't want it to get canceled because of lack of registration.
Is it like a jam session or something?
I think so, yeah. Of varying aptitudes. It's beginning to beginner, somewhat to advanced. So
yeah, my
Patrick
wife is.
Shukaro should be joining that, you guys. No, Mr. Shukaro, he plays guitar.
Yeah, bring them all. Let's do this.
Do you get an audience? Can we come?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think there's going to be a performance of some type at the end. I think is the idea is like 4 weeks total, and like 3 of them, I guess, are like rehearsals, and then there'd be a performance at the end, I guess. Cool. I'm not sure, but
it's part of a new. I mean, there are a lot of adults who want to take class too, and I think this is a first like foray back into offering more things for adults, and it is kind of like a big jam session. So
yeah, hoping we can get it going.
Question for you on that one, Shanda, because my wife is really interested. She wants her and myself to do it, but I've taken classes but don't play. I'd love to learn how to play, but my wife has zero knowledge of how to even hold a guitar. So I don't know how that works with that. Yeah, I tried to explain to her, when an ensemble means you play already. But
I mean, I would honestly, if someone wants to talk to the teacher about placement, I would pass you on to him. With a small group, you would differentiate instruction for all the levels in the class. But I think that the idea behind the classes is enjoyment, and wherever someone is getting better. So if you start here, you're going to end here. You start here. But I mean, it's really going to be differentiated
anyways, right? So
yeah, you're going to go upwards. But the teacher is someone who would love to talk to potential students about that. So let me know if you want info. But thank you, Counselor Garland. Anyone who knows adults who want to.
This is purely selfish. Let's promote this so we can play some guitar. So I'm ready. All right, that's all I've got.
Okay, thank you so much, Counselor Garland. Okay, next up, our Lunar New Year Festival. Casey and Chanda.
I want to do a big shout out to Casey and John for coming and hanging out yesterday and stringing all the lights, and it's looking really nice in there, everyone. Like, I know Jen stopped by and saw it really briefly, and Winnie was there, and just, it's looking really beautiful. And that is thanks to John and his 8-inch and 14-inch zip ties expertise, and Casey with her artistic brilliance, and Susan Fu was there yesterday as well, which is, Susan is the one who put our beautiful poster together, and her eye for detail is great. So with all that, Casey, do you want to talk through some of the stations that will happen on Sunday? And we do want to make sure that all of us, that we know who from the Arts Commission is going to be there, and what you might be doing as far as duties during the Lunar New Year, and any questions that we can answer, and just get that all down today.
Yeah, so we will open around 3 o'clock, and then we will have a couple of stations. One is candy station, like greeting people coming, and one will be red envelopes. Will be Q&A, ask some basic question about Lunar New Year, and then they can get 1 envelope for treat. And then we will have a paper crafting for the lantern, I got from Taiwan Council. It's a free gift. And we'll have one station for paper cutting, which is red copulate we used to stick on the window for Lunar New Year. And what else? I think that's all.
I think so. Yeah, candy station with a greeter, red envelope, trivia, paper crafting, paper cutting. Oh, calligraphy.
Calligraphy, yeah, and we'll have a Lunar New Year calligraphy station as well. So feel free to sign up if you want to join us as a host.
When and what date is that?
Sunday.
This Sunday.
30th.
This Sunday?
Mhm.
That's right. Okay.
And the hope is during that too. So it starts at 3. We're imagining people will stop in with their families, do some activities, get a red envelope, do all of that, and then kind of come and go throughout the time. And we'll have music playing. Casey's got a favorite playlist we're going to make her listen to over and over. And then we will need to, what we're asking is, I'd love to know tonight who can come and help set up, who could help tear it down at the end. The lanterns will be up all month, but it's just setting up the stations and making sure we're ready to greet folks and making sure we're able to direct people as they come in. But who is able to be there? We'll just put it out there. John, awesome.
I can help the day of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So on the sheet, that Exhibit A, it says show opening says 2 p.m. to 5. So it's just a typo, or?
It might be a drafting, so yeah, the final hour will be 3 to 6.
Okay.
Yeah, it should say 3 to 6 on our. So we would be there setting up no later than 2 to make sure everything's ready. So John, you're able to. I'm pressing my family into service too, so I'm gonna have some helpers. Anyone else able to be there or able to?
Shanda, I will be there, but it's all dependent on my little one.
Yeah.
But I will be there, and I'll bring my husband. It's just I can't promise exactly what time I'll be there, but I'll be there.
That's great.
Marissa says she can be there.
Thank you, Ursa.
And I can be there, but what time do you want us there?
If you are able to be there to help, I would love at 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
Just
To
so we're
set up and
ready
everything?
and not rushed.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay. I'll be there too.
And Casey, do you want to tell folks about the what we should
Dress
wear?
code?
Dress code.
So
What?
anything with red and gold, like yellow, should be fine for late date.
And you also said it would be okay. Anything tiger like for
Oh
your
yeah, tiger pattern. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's tiger year, so.
Yeah. All right.
At which point I threatened to bring out all my old high school tiger mascot. So, Katie, did you say you and Corey could do it? Seeing a chat. Thank you, Katie. All right. And Marianne, yes, thank you. You let us know. And even if we just stop by, if you're not able to commit to setting up, if we're able to stop by, I have everyone's name tags. You could wear your cultural arts name tag and just let people get to know you and see your face and realize that there's a lot of excitement happening in this group this year. Great. I'm writing this down. All right. So between John and Jen and Arisa and Katie and Corey and Winnie popping in there and maybe Marianne popping in there and Casey.
I have 2 group of friends will come to help as well. So
wonderful.
we got friends.
That will be fun. And our dress code is red and gold. And can you explain really quickly, Casey, just so we all remember, the colors symbolize good fortune and luck. Can you talk about those colors real quick?
Yeah, red and gold means like good fortune, wish you best luck, yeah, and make good money.
And Susan Fu is creating some signage that will go at each station to kind of explain the significance of everything. So, all right. Anything else that you can think of, Casey?
Do we need someone? Do we need someone to help us to hang the lanterns?
To hang the lanterns? Yes, actually, we could use help this week. If anyone has some time during office hours, we have a ladder. They're up high, so you'd need to be comfortable going on a ladder, but we are hanging the lanterns throughout the lobby. So if someone is interested in that, would you just email me and let me know, and I'll let the staff here know. Usually during the day, it's pretty, during the early part of the day before classes and rehearsals, it's fairly low traffic in here. So we're hoping to hang during the morning times or before 3 o'clock, basically, before after school classes. But we could use some extra hands. We have about 100 lanterns. Oh, yay. Yeah, so please do email me if you're able to do that. Right, anything else, Casey, you can think of? Okay. So when you get here on, those of you who are helping on Sunday, we'll do a huddle at 2 o'clock and we'll assign spots for during the event. So someone will greet people, someone will help orient people, somebody will, some of you might be minglers. We'll see where it goes, but we'll assign everyone a job.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Anything else? I think we're good. Thanks, Shanda. Thanks, Casey. And the adjustment to this agenda, John, could you share an update of your from your
Sure.
meeting?
I can share the slides here with you to show you. We're only able to share the slides, through Teams, because since it's still kind of in development. So let me find the correct window to share. Can you see that? Oh, it says presenting. Do anyone have that yet?
Yep, we're seeing the slide.
Great. So this is what the Lango Hansen landscape architects did some renderings and shows like different views of what's proposed. None of this is necessarily set in stone just yet, but it's kind of in the sense of the committee that's working on this. This is where we're kind of headed and really like this design layout. So I'm going to go through a couple different looks so you can see what we're talking about. Let's see, will it advance? There's without that text in the way. Opportunities. Can you see my mouse on the screen?
Yeah.
Opportunities for art. It's this potential back wall behind foliage. I guess in the sense of whatever we do will dictate what actually gets put in front of it. And if we do something big, maybe not arborvitaes, maybe something lower, or if we can get it to work within, landscape, shrubbery and whatnot, that would be kind of cool too. my thought is, and this was really important to the Historical Society, is of course looking at the, let me see if I can show you that. This sign right here is the Robin Hood Theater sign. It's really important to them. It's fairly huge, so I don't know if it's possible to, in a sense of an artist that knows more about architectural art design, if there's a way of incorporating that or doing maybe a cement type rendering of it instead of that. And then maybe making it into, I kind of did like a mock walking tour kind of sign based on what's around the city already. I don't know if that was something we could potentially add to the walking tour as well. But I'll back up to the slides.
John?
You again? Yes.
I pardon me for interrupting, but just could you give me, maybe the rest of everyone else might need a primer on where exactly this would be located? Like
sure.
Where is it?
Let me show you what we're looking at now, because I have some street view shots. Okay. So this is the corner of First and Pine.
Yeah.
So you've got the dirt parking lot, these trees. From again, joining this committee, I didn't know anything about these trees, but apparently these were supposed to all be temporary, and of course now they're super huge. So those would need to go away in order to make room and adjustments for what's to come. And of course, we'd be replanting new trees and foliage and all that. Sense of different views, so you can kind of see there's the lot, and this one's from like the library kind of view, and then straight on into the parking lot. Kind of seeing what we're working with. And the sense of activities, this is usually the beer garden for the cruise in and the Robin Hood Festival. There's talks, and it'll show on these other slides I have of placement of water and electricity and all that. So anyone have any questions on what we're talking about in a sense of location? No? I can't, when I'm presenting like this, I can't see the chat or hands up or anything like that. So if anyone sees that, please let me know. Okay. Going back to this, I'm going to go to the next slide, and since an overhead view, as you can see the foliage and whatnot around the space, kind of a layout. Was very important to parks to not have brick, but this would be more, I think we're still working out the idea of like a stamped concrete, because you need to be able to drive semi-trucks onto this to unload items for events and whatnot. So it's very important to have this be a solid structure. I guess there were some challenges with the Cannery Square with bricks. Really don't want vehicles on bricks. But you can see it's...
Oh, I'm sorry. What about permeable bricks, like permeable material?
That's something they're looking at too, in the sense of ways of having the water being able to escape so it doesn't puddle. That's something that's definitely on the Lango Hansen's radar for sure.
Okay.
And it's something I've heard quite a few times.
Okay.
In a sense of like initial thoughts is they're looking at these lights in a sense of placement, and you'll see strategically why they're there. And then of course these bollards or whatever, however you say that, go in place if there's something going in here. They don't want people driving in there. And then these spaces too, they're in between these trees. It kind of gives you a double sidewalk. So you have this sidewalk along Pine, and then you have this inner sidewalk area here for seating and whatnot as well, which is great.
Yeah.
Not sure how it would incorporate, like if that would be like outside of the beer garden, which I would kind of think it would be, but that's still left to be decided. One of the ongoing things that we're still needing to resolve is this alleyway, and I don't have the photos, but not very attractive photos, but the trash containers in the alleyway, trying to make something more attractive. This bottom corner in possibly this area. I think they're still reaching out and talking to Clancy's, and I can't think of the name of that restaurant.
Masons?
Possibly talking about space to put in like a communal like dumpster area that's contained and has more of a communal for those businesses to all dump their trash into, instead of having I think there's over a dozen, maybe 2 dozen trash cans or something like that, or close to, in that alleyway down the street. It's quite a lot.
If
On the
those
other side of
trash
the
cans-
trees.
Oh, and if those trash cans were gone, you'd have this lovely alley space for an alleyway mural. I'm just putting that out there.
Exactly. That was
Yeah.
the thought. So someone
Yeah.
could sweet talk these people. Hey, free trash dump if you put your little thing right here. I don't know. I'm not quite sure who owns that land. It might be the folks that are in that building.
And it might be the store owner, the Rainbow Market store owner too.
Gotcha. Well, this is the parking signs along here say reserved for Keisha and permit parking only, which is interesting.
I think one of those would be the dentist, isn't it? Like the lower.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dentist
probably
is
the
down here.
dentist. Yeah.
John, if I can just chime in really
Yes,
quick.
please.
This is new information just kind of about the garbage. We have a lot to figure out still about potentially centralizing it. But one of the things that I learned is for dumpsters, they're front loading dumpsters, front loading trucks that empty dumpsters, which means you need 75 feet of straight in clearance, which means that we would need to utilize and take up a few parking spots if that's what we wanted to do and actually have it in the parking lot. So more discussions to follow. It would take a 10 by 20 enclosure, similar to what we have over by where the Center for the Arts is on the other side of the parking lot. So we'll just need to think through how practical that is. But yeah, if there was a way that we could get all of those garbage cans out of the alleyway, that would be great. But I think it's going to entail quite a few meetings and brainstorming and weighing out the pros and cons, coming up with a potential solution.
Exactly, because then it frees up that alleyway, because that's pretty much a direct connection to like the food courts usually, right? And that bank area down below there.
Correct.
It really is.
So I'm going to go on to the next. I think this one just shows like placement of tents for potential, like a market. If the Saturday market maybe moved, it's how 10 by 10s would fit in there.
That's cute.
Which is kind of cool.
Yeah, we discussed potentially they could just have food over in this area, separate out some of the produce and have this be more of a little food truck area without the trucks, or even have trucks in the parking lot as well.
Yeah, it's cute. Really cute.
Then it's like a side rendering of something along those lines with those 10 by 10s in place. Next one shows placement of electrical, talking about putting electrical available at the bottom of these poles that are here. Then water connections strategically placed. And then landscape, in a sense of talking about those Christmas lights earlier. It's really great having power in these. Speaking from someone that's done this for other locations, it's really nice not having the string cable. So that's fantastic. I think they also show, these black boxes here show quad boxes, so large power availability for lighting or stage area and whatnot. I know there's another one here on the other side of First that they use the power of the stage for Robin Hood Festival. Usually that stage goes right in here on between First and that corner. So now you have all this, this kind of like benchways here, like viewing from the side that they'd be able to see the stage, which is fantastic, in my opinion. Let's go on to the next. It shows you what it would look like in a parking situation. I think there was some concern. Remind me if I'm wrong, Kristen, about were they going to put in ballards in this area so people don't try to park on the sidewalk area, or?
Yeah, we did discuss that of potentially having something right there in the middle to similar to what we have. I think we do down by the pedestrian walkway. I think it's more of a division though, but just so people don't turn in there instead on accident.
Yeah, EV car parking.
Yeah.
What was the other thing? The entryways. Here's gives you a better view of this potential wall area too, from up above. That's available. Oh, and these signs down here was supposed to be kind of informational about the space. So I didn't know in the sense of the potential Sherwood Cultural Arts walking tour, or how that's phrased. Maybe information about the theater could be in here.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a reproduction of the sign, but on a smaller scale. That would be kind of cool to kind of preserve that. And then Mayor Mays is definitely interested in digital signage. It's just a matter of discussion and working out that. We're still discussing that as well. Everybody really enjoys knowing what's going on from this particular area.
Mm-hmm.
Can I jump in again, John?
Sure.
The digital sign, I mean, one of the things that I would love feedback from the Cultural Arts Commission on is we've discussed for years, yes, we need a digital sign, an electronic reader board, but where's the best place? Yeah. And I don't know that in a parking lot, I mean, it's going to look a lot nicer. A plaza is the best location for that. I would love to see it pushed down closer to the art center and for it to be tied to a building where we have programs and activities and be able to utilize that. So this may be an opportunity to say, yes, there's a need to relocate that or put something else in its place, but potentially give feedback on if that's going to be done. We would really love for the art center or down closer to the art center to be considered. So just throwing it out there.
Yeah. I would say, when I'm looking at all this greenery and you're talking about streetscaping and just in terms of visual quality, I think a reader board, while it's a great idea, would be a really distracting black box in this area. I'm just thinking in terms of aesthetics, just looking at this. And I do think like events that are coming, that kind of thing might be floating, like just floating out there. There's nothing tangible to ground it. Does that make sense?
That's true, because before I got involved and when I first came to Sherwood, I was constantly like, well, where's this Robin Hood Theater that they keep talking about? Like, where is that? And then these events, and I'm like, where, before I knew these different locations. And then I learned, oh, the theater used to be in the parking lot. So yeah, exactly, makes sense. And sorry, Kristen, I do remember that conversation now, that they talked about relocating it down there where it would make more sense, for sure.
This is just such a hardscape feature, you know?
Yeah. I do echo Kristen. I think it is more powerful if it's tied to the building or the area where the activity is happening.
Yeah, because you get
it's not an abyss.
Yeah, because you have activities in the library and in Cannery Square and the art center, so it kind of more centralized makes more sense.
Otherwise, it's just floating out there.
Yeah, and the idea of the electronic sign is that it does serve all those entities. It can put library events or city events or arts events, but it can't be floating in the
where it doesn't make any sense. Yeah. The Sherwood High School looks like someone finally figured out their sign that actually has capabilities of doing graphics, which is really cool, because I could totally see like some the Lantern Festival that we're doing being in there in a sense of imagery. It'd be really cool. So this next image is my favorite, and I'm pretty excited about it, is putting in these sails between these poles and be utilized during the summertime, of course, to give a little more shade to that area. opting out of potential tents. But again, of course, storage, but they do roll up. And I hadn't said this, but I know a company in Eugene that makes these sails for events as well. So
Very nice.
But they stay up.
they stay up for summertime, but I think you'd want to take them down. You've got the rainy season snow, and then that crazy wind that just comes through and likes to destroy stuff. I don't think you'd want snow settling on this.
No.
Adding
But you
more
could
weight.
leave them up like longer than, like currently we take tents down, so we don't want vandalism, but those could be left up.
Yeah.
A short period of time.
Vandals would have to get really creative to put something on that. So trampolines or something, I'm not sure. But kind of shows you a kind of a more refined space. It's pretty cool. And of course, the tent's still an option too, depending on what best serves the event. Yeah, this next view is just an open parking view. I think we've kind of sort of seen this already. And the architectural company put in some like informational signs in here. I don't know more about what is possibly down the road. So, more directional. I'm not quite sure what those are for. I don't recall that part of the information. Entryway into the space is really pretty. Again, it's probably going to be, if it's going to be looking like this, it's probably going to be stamped versus actual bricks. Side view with the rendering with sails up above and having lighting to help enhance the space. In a sense of doing events, there's always the opportunity to light the sails from the bottom. And there's a lot of cool stuff that you can do with these at night.
Yeah.
I guess I just have some other information or slides that I kind of like mocked up, but not really relevant to this. But
John, what's the timing for this? Sorry.
What's that?
What's the timing for this?
I'd probably have to refer back to Kristen on that one. I know Mary Mays was hoping to get everything up for the next cruise-in is last I heard. So
yeah, so not cruising this year, but 2023. So
yes.
We plan to go out to bid this summer, hopefully by August, and then start construction in October is our goal in order to be done. Doesn't seem like it should take 8 months, but I always underestimate. I'm like, it seems really simple. Just lay some stuff down. But
what's the engineer's estimate on this, Kristen?
I'm sorry?
What's the engineering estimate on this? What's the total cost?
We haven't gotten that far yet, but just in casual conversation, Kurt has said, what we're looking at now is closer to that $1 million mark. But we still need to refine a few things before we get a true estimate.
Mm-hmm. It looks like a great multi-use space, and it's fairly simple.
Mm-hmm. John, can you go back to the slide real quick that had just a few back that showed the fence?
That
there
one?
We go. So I think this will be a future conversation, and a few people will remember this, but those of you who are newer to the commission may not remember. But the commission, back one more. The commission was given the donated from, I think it came from Sherwood Foundation for the Arts, those metal panels. Jennifer, you're going to remember them, and Sean probably will too. But those metal panels that used to be on the dentist, on the side of the building for the dentist, right there.
They're quite nice. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they were given to the Cultural Arts Commission or the foundation. And so that's something we've talked about. What do we do with those? Where do those go? How can we utilize them as public art? And that's an idea. They could be potentially incorporated into some type of a metal fence there. and tribute to the history of Sherwood, and also something that was donated. I mean, they need to be cleaned up a bit, but we could look at bringing back some images of what those look like at a future meeting. We had talked about putting them on the side of the Sherwood Center for the Arts at one time. We've talked about putting them in roundabouts, but that's another option. We could look at using them as part of the fencing material.
Yeah, they're nice panels. If they couldn't be used as part of the fencing material, I could see them going in between the windows along the promenade, down where on the side of the library and the city offices are, in between windows, and using them somewhere along the promenade, spaced out.
That'd be cool too.
Yeah.
How much do we have, Lynn? Since the distance, would it fit like it currently shows? Like, do we have that many panels?
We don't have that many. You'd have to space them out. For some reason, I want to say there's 6. Does that sound
At least
right?
at least 4 that I know of.
Okay.
But you could, but
4
those,
feet wide by 4 by 8 or something like that. 4 by 6 or 4 by 8.
yeah, maybe 4 by 6.
Okay.
But you could match them. You know, you could get more created, right?
Sure.
But you would have to get, I don't know, 8 more, 10 more.
Right. We can bring back some ideas, some images of, what they look like, and see if it's something we're interested in pursuing.
One thing is too is if there is a wall there that it could potentially add front texture to it, and lighting on those in different places would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Strategic lighting could level those up a little bit.
Yeah.
Just make it a fresh look at those. It might be helpful to share those if anyone does have those photos, or if Kristen, if you have those photos, we could share those with the newer members of the commission.
Yeah, I don't know that I have them. They were at the Center for the Arts in those folders. We'll dig for them, or we can get someone. Brian had them. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, they're probably in our minutes somewhere. We'll find them.
Okay. Anything else, John?
I think that's it. Does anybody have any questions on this?
I do. I just real quickly, how many community members are there on the board? And have the festival folks been, like the Robin Hood Festival and the, Cars, Cruisin' Sherwood folks been involved in any way?
Have a representative from Cruisin' and from Robin Hood on the committee. And then someone from the Parks Board, and then John from the Cultural Arts Commission, and then myself, and also Public Works from like a maintenance standpoint, as well as Mayor Mays and Council President Rosner.
Nice. Good group.
So there's been great conversations, and everyone's coming at it from a little bit of a different point of view, which is really helpful. So we wanted to share this tonight. It will go to the Parks Board at the beginning of February, and we're also going to have a work session with the City Council to talk through it. This is all still conceptual, needs to have quite a bit of fine tuning, but we want to get general feedback and probably get some images up on the website. We just received these on Thursday, so you guys are the first group outside of the committee to see them. But we're just excited to share and welcome feedback or thoughts as you have it. We started with 3 different concepts and narrowed it down. So this is the one that everybody agreed on, which was great.
Yeah, it looks really nice.
I'm excited.
Me too.
I like the greenery that is.
Me too. It's so nice.
I'm kind of sad about those big trees. I hate when the trees are cut, but I also understand.
I know.
It's going to feel a lot larger. I mean, really, we're kind of shifting how much space the trees were taking up down to the second promenade, that's being added. But yeah.
Okay. Does anybody have any other businesses that they want to discuss or want to bring it to the team members here?
Oh, you took you're on mute, Winnie.
I'm right here, John. I'm like, let's go. I'm going to have dinner now. No, if there is no other business, I adjourn this meeting at 7:36 p.m. Well,
Thank you, Winnie.
Have a good night.
Thanks, Winnie.
Thank you. We'll see